We're going to talk about training mode today. So I think one of the stigma of fighting games is that you need to drill and drill and drill in training mode, and there's a lot of things that you need to do before you actually start playing the game. You need to learn all of your character's moves, you need to learn how to combo, you need to learn how to use your meter, and I think a lot of tutorials kind of set you up that way. They try to dump all the information onto you at once, and I think that's kind of dangerous because when you actually sit down and play a match, chances are you're going to retain maybe about 10 to 20% of the information that the tutorial taught you, depending on how complex the game is. I think one of the healthiest ways to learn a fighting game is to just digest it one bit at a time. One very common situation to find yourself in is you go into training mode and you sit there and you don't know what to do because it's your first time in a training mode and you've never actually done anything in a training mode before. But all your friends say you need to go into training mode and learn these combos before you start playing the game. And in the very first Mash Buttons one day, I said, you don't have to learn all these complicated combos. You just need to have something that starts your offense, gives you knockdown, something of that nature. So this is your standard training mode. Your combo might look something like ABC, special move. That's it. And then after that, you'll start to think, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. This is a little too easy. I need to figure out what else I want to do. And then you'll start learning more advanced combos. But you'll hit a wall eventually, and you'll start to think, all right, what else can I improve when I'm in the training mode? You could learn really advanced combos, but a very common situation that happens is you drill out a combo for 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on how difficult it is. And then you're able to consistently do it maybe 10, 20 times in a row, and you're like, okay, I'm pretty satisfied. I'm gonna go actually play a game now. And what happens? You hit the opponent and you drop the combo. Happens to everybody. If you just hop in, naturally you just want to hit the dummy with your highest damage combo. And that can be entertaining for a bit, but eventually it becomes a chore once you start trying to drill that combo over and over and you find yourself not being able to do it, or you find yourself trying to do it in a match and you just can't land it. This is where it gets frustrating, and I think a lot of players end up losing interest because they spend too much time in here and they end up going a little insane. General rule of thumb is we want to use training mode to find solutions to simple questions. Complex questions can be answered once we're a little bit more knowledgeable about the game, but when we're starting out, we want to make sure we answer questions with 1 or 2 words. So, is this a low? Yes. Is this a high? Yes. Things like that. Does this cross up? Yes. Are you using the training mode? We obviously really want to take advantage of looking at the command list and seeing, what are our options? We want to pick 1 or 2 things from this list to try and implement into our gameplay. We don't have to learn everything about our character at once. Now here's where the creativity of training mode comes in. There isn't always a single answer to a problem. We might be able to come up with another solution that also works. This is what makes training mode really fun, is because there are multiple solutions to a given problem. It doesn't have to be the first one that you find, and that is where we can elaborate on the way that we play the game. We can actually grow as a player because the solutions that we find will continuously become better as we understand more about the game. If I'm completely new, I have to learn that I have to block that high. I have no idea. But once I do learn I can block it high. Okay, I'm gonna block it high, and now I'm gonna actually hit her for it. I think this is the beauty of fighting games, because there is always going to be a good answer for something. It might not always be the best answer, but there's always going to be a way to respond to something that we're presented with. And training mode does not have to be a chore. We do not have to lab the solution to a single problem for hours and hours and hours on end. Training ourselves to beat the same situation over and over and over will make us better at it. But that can be very tiresome, and it can burn out a lot of players very quickly. So we want to keep things fun, we want to keep learning, and we want to keep challenging ourselves and learning new things. Next week, we'll talk about something new. See you guys then.